Good morning, children, and welcome to my new class. Now, as you all can see the picture here, we'll be starting from where we left last time. As you all remember that we were doing this chapter coming home to Delhi. So, we'll be starting with the sixth paragraph. Preparations for the picnic would begin early in the morning. Potatoes in a hot tomato sauce, golden puris, warm moist meatballs, and jars of pickles would be packed along with okay, so here is the next page. Along with fruit in large baskets, two cars would stand ready, gleaming in the sun. So here the narrator is telling us about the picnic, how the preparations were made for the picnic, what all things were packed before leaving for the picnic. The art of getting 30 people into two cars had long been mastered. It means that there were around 30 people in the family, and all the 30 people got into just two cars. And this was a talent which was mastered by them. How did they get into it? Let us see. The first layer consisted of short ladies and teenagers. So, at first, the short ladies and the teenagers got into the cars. On their laps went the second layer consisting of 10 to 12 years old. So, much younger children. The third layer consisted of all those below the age of 10. The tall men sat in the front seat. On their laps sat the 10 to 12 years olds holding the baskets and pots that could not be stuffed into the trunk. Now, this is how they all entered into the cars. Once we reached the gardens of the Qutub Minar, the children would rush to climb the sandstone tower while the picnic was laid out on a large cotton sheet. So, a large cotton bed sheet was laid on the ground and the arrangements were made, and the children ran towards the minarets, Qutub Minar. Once we saw all the food laid out, we would thunder down the hundreds of steps, jostling and competing to get there first. Jostling means fighting with each other, and competing that who will reach at that place first. The foods and places of my childhood can still be found in Delhi. Mornings still start in the haze of familiar smoke sent skyward by millions of stoves and cookers. So she tells us about the early morning routine. In those early hours, potatoes and peas are combined with ginger, turmeric, and green chilies. Chapatis are cooked over hot fires, buttered and stacked with the vegetables and a piece of mango pickle in a tiffin carrier to be carried by many people on their way to schools and offices. Just as I did on my way to school in Delhi. So she is trying to tell us that when she was a school child, when she used to go to school, this is how her tiffin was packed with chapatis, then butters, and then stacked with vegetables and a piece of mango pickle. So this is her memory about the childhood when she was in Delhi. So, in my next class, we'll be discussing the understanding the text. Meanwhile, I would like to ask you to do question number 2 as your homework. Okay, now question number 2 is quite easy. You have to just divide the text according to what the author talks about. In your own language, you can simply write it according to the paragraphs. And if you can do question number 3 and 4, very nice. But we'll be discussing them. So I hope you have understood it, and please go through the chapter once again, read it thoroughly once again so that you can have a better understanding of the chapter. So have a nice day and keep learning.